Bonjour, c'est Madame Sacco. So today we're going to learn about les pronouns. And in particular, we're going to be learning about subject pronouns. These are pronouns that can be used as the subject of a sentence. In other words, they can replace nouns that are being used as the subject of a sentence. So in French, like in English, we have different subject pronouns to talk about different people. So some are singular and some are plural. So these here, oops, on the left-hand side are singular, meaning they're talking about one person. These on the right are plural. Oops, can't get that to work. That means they're talking about more than one person. So our singular subject pronouns in French are je, tu, il, and elle. So if I were you right now, I'd be copying down this chart and I would be writing them down. Je in English is I, tu is you. Keep in mind this is informal, meaning that you're talking to somebody that you know, like a family or close friend. Il is he, and elle is she. The last two, the il and elle, don't forget, that's when you're talking about people. Je is when you're talking about yourself, which makes it what we call first person. Tu is second person. It's when we're talking to one other person or to somebody else. And il and elle, because you're talking about a third person that's not in your conversation, is il and elle, he and she. So same thing in English. We refer to first person singular, first person plural, second person singular, and third person, and so on and so forth. So everything that is in this row right here, je and nous, that's first person. Second person is tu and vous. Third is il, and both the singular and plural. And third is elle, singular and plural. So you don't have to necessarily know that right now, but just be aware that that's what that is. Nous is first person plural, which means it's including yourself and other people. So we, if you think about it in English, is really the plural of I, because you're talking about not only yourself, but other people. Whereas with I, you're just talking about yourself. Vous is you. Now, this vous can have two meanings or two senses. It can either be you all, so it can be plural, or it can be singular when you're talking formally to somebody. We don't have anything like this in English, but in French they do have that. So vous can either be you plural, or it can be you formal, when you're talking to somebody formally. Il and elle both mean they, okay? So when you're using it, how do you know when to use il and when to use elle? Well, elle singular is she, elle plural is they, and you're going to use elle plural when you're talking about something or someone that's females or feminine, okay? And we'll talk more about that later on. So we'll use talking about girls or females, okay? Il, they, this is going to be when you're talking about males. So how do I know what to use if I have a mixed group that's used, has both men and women, or males and females in it? Well, traditionally in French and other Romance languages, the masculine becomes dominant. So if I have a group of people that's both males and females, and it could, by the way, be like 10,000 females and only one male, you have to use il, the they in that case. All right, so the masculine always rules. And we'll talk more about this in class. Right now, what I really want you to know is the meanings of the subject pronouns. So you should know that je is I, and tu is you, and il is he, and elle is she, and nous is we, vous is you, and il and elle, plural, are both they. Note with il and elle, plural, we don't pronounce the S at the end, so that's really important. So I'm going to ask you to repeat these after me. We're going to go down the list. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Right, so start learning them and be familiar with them. Au revoir. Fin.